So it's found in the Kangyo, or in the word, in the speech of the Buddha himself. So there's an explanation that once you reach the first ground, you cultivate a meditative stabilization where everything you experience, all phenomena, whatever you experience them as pleasant. So therefore, whether you cut yourself with a knife, whether you get too close to fire, the only experience that you experience in your mind is a pleasant experience. There's only a pleasant feeling. There's no feeling of suffering. So how's that possible? How do you get that meditative stabilization, first of all? And so the explanation that is given is that, and Geshe-la recited kind of a line, which is basically saying, whatever people do to me, may I be able to benefit them. So in other words, whether people give me food or they take away my food, whether people benefit me or they abuse me, whether people heal me or they make me sick, whatever people do, whether they say good things to me, positive things to me, or they verbally abuse me, may I always be able to benefit them. So through habituation over a long time, so independent or conditioned by that way of thinking, one will eventually be able to cultivate or develop that meditative stabilization, that upon any kind of situation that arises in response to that, there will always be a feeling of happiness or a pleasant type of feeling. In another sutra talking about negative karma, it is said that due to negative karma, a preta being, even when the sun shines on their body, they will experience cold. So when a warm object such as the sun hits their body or affects their body, they actually experience the opposite. They experience cold.
아니 미카시다 디버사도 디디요로 카시다 미치를 룽나 야신다도 제와치 디요로 카시베티 룽기르지네 미 차마를 룽데 야부 제가 요네 룽데 혼도사 정해지도 제가 디지리라 아니 디티고디 미오나 가리 통내 동행 용해지 디 용해지 차루로다 다 미안 뮤직지라 카시를 두 야부체네 카시를 두제 정해요로 이네 다 잠민지 이네 세터부 유딩이 리지기 아니 수 야부 정형다 가보지 아니 수 같이 두제 전에 파 가보지 돼야지 통제 상만으로 파기 잠민지기 파기 염린디 내용해야지 딘딜레디 크리에이티브디 민버이나 강남 탐지 디기 용에 끼는 샤 용해야지 뒤에 용청해 되지 진짜 딜레 때네 파기 냐와시에 대 종장야만 이거 용쳐버지 계시기와 같이 되는데 뭐네 이나
So saying that, therefore, when we talk about past and future lives, and we talk about the law of cause and effect, the law of karma, which actually exists, there is such a law. So when we look at living beings, when we have our relationship with others, with some people we get angry, other people we're nice to them. So it's kind of like a balanced kind of state. With some people we have pleasant and experience, we react in a positive way, and others in a negative way. But there's some people who are angry with everyone. No matter what happens, they're angry with everyone. They're always angry, they're always negative. And as a result of that, as a karmic result of that, whatever they perceive it as just unpleasant. So that could be a karmic result of having harmful thoughts, having anger towards everyone. So then everything is seen as negative. Now if you turn this around, if you at a certain stage, you accustom yourself to reacting with a pleasant feeling, with having a pleasant reaction when someone benefits you. Of course, it's natural. We would react with a pleasant. We would react by having a pleasant kind of feeling towards that person. But even when someone abuses us, even when someone harms us, if we have that negative we have more negative kind of response, but we train ourselves to have a positive response. And as a karmic result of that, whatever we see, whatever we perceive, whatever experience that there is, we will have a positive kind of reaction to that. So therefore, there is this way that we're even hellish kind of experiences due to the law of karma can be seen as something pleasant.
len 기체다 말이디 디네 트레이닝 디지가 저 디자부지라나 펜서로 바기 렌시쇼 버버버나 이다기 나타 라이 뒤지 미기 추통그레 스케제 지어라다 이내 빼디 신도 고주 자루다 빼고라는 건 저는 마당인데 자루다 디나시니 백에 남바다 이기지 공경기 주주 가지 주주에 된 리지기 지금도 담에도 주고 알아 수부 도제디 키지 아니 딜라도 되게 뒤에 뭐네이나 나 유경wen의 도제를 담에랬으나도 유경wen의 도제 담에 뭐 중이지 그 리뷰 조당식 야구 차기도 돼. 야 뒤에 맞으러 고줄 차도 거지. 다 페이지에 뒤 빼디 지부지기한지라나 단다디 챙지기들라 라시스라. 가서 왜래 가서 왜기랑 신제 아니 찍들 들라오래. 들기랑 신제 시디 니데메 등이지 딱인 기본기 미라와 차줘야지. 된지 시고 말해. 간지 배제 권을 비슷해 뒤로면은 간지 그 땅이 미자고 원기 밖에 내주미라고 차는 거지. 딱 간들이야 기시 딘디지 유에나 뒤자고 차거디 뒤에 땅 아래 보이 신도 고주 차르다. 체리비 시기도 시지 제마도 야나면 말한 것이 따네 아니 신이 두고로. 그래서 땅 원소를 원주 이지지 퇴기 빼라 와지라로지나. 아니 상당히 내로 용서로. 딘디 빼라 버티니 시에 유에나 and looking at it. It is sometimes this laid out yourself.
So then again I also like to say, and this is just going off from there, it's not actually an answer to the question, but we need to find an example that exemplifies what Geshe-la has been trying to say. So usually we give the example of a vessel with liquid in it. And we say a human being perceives it as water, and a preta being perceives it as pus and blood, and a celestial being perceives it as nectar. But this is actually very hidden to us. This is an example we don't know from our own experience. It's very hidden to us. It's not accessible to us. Likewise, a person who meditates on the first formless realm, uses the first formless realm meditated stabilization, or who's cultivated that first formless realm meditative stabilization, which is called limitless sky. Because of this meditative stabilization, or with this meditative stabilization, they're going to be able to walk through walls. So something that is an obstructive phenomenon, they can actually make it non-obstructive and walk through walls. But again, this is something hidden to us. There's no way for us to access that kind of idea. Now, Geshe-la said he's heard, and this is for the scientists among you, whether you can think of an example, with independence on some people. For some people, there are phenomena that are just light waves. Whereas from the perspective of some people, it's just light waves. Another person, when they look at it, it is actual atomically established phenomena. So Geshe-la asked me, and I wasn't able to answer, so maybe you can come up with examples, such a scientific kind of examples that are such. But then again, those are very hidden to Geshe-la. So these would be examples that you may understand, but Geshe-la will not. So anyhow, he's saying maybe he can find an example that illustrates what I've just been talking about, as in like course examples that we can all understand, that exemplify or that illustrate this idea that it just depends on the person, it depends on the person, his or her mental abilities that we perceive an object or not.
지단에 센센백이 거의 치료고비 리버여와 센센백 가져고비 리버 창마 텐주위가를 비지 당 줘야지. 근데 치료고비 리버 창문록이 센센마 호랑이 치료 가격이 된결돼 우마베다나 치료 장문을 주거든 가격을. 다 호랑이 디여와 체마 또 인상 치료 장문을 주거든 치료니가 가격이었어. 다 디니 여와 체비 또 가격이 되러. 딜레도 디리버 창문 키지 치료 장문을 주고 가야래야 비지 당 초과다.
So, for example, when you look at the Chittamatra text, the reasonings that they apply in order to establish that there's no external phenomena, that the sense objects do not exist externally, the same kind of reasoning that they establish that they use in order to establish that mode of existence can be used by the Prasangika school. Well, why can that be used? Because the followers of the Chittamatra school have not understood that the Prasangika actually only refute inherent external existence. They do not refute external existence in general. But according to the Chittamatra school, lacking inherent external existence and lacking external existence are the same. They're not able to differentiate. And so therefore the followers of the Chittamatra, they refute external existence in general. And so the examples that the kind of reasonings that they give can also be applied to the Prasangika. So that concludes the